This wasn't a drone in the sky, this was a robot on the ground, rolling through trenches and gunfire, until it targeted a Russian armored vehicle and made a kill that shocked the world, the moment that shocked the world. According to Ukrainian sources and battlefield analysts, a major milestone has just been reached. A ground-based combat robot reportedly engaged and destroyed a Russian MTLB armored vehicle. This wasn't an airstrike, a drone drop, or artillery fire. It was a tracked, remotely controlled machine moving through frontline terrain like a soldier. For military experts, this represents a turning point. For decades, world powers debated when ground robotics would finally become lethal participants in war. That moment appears to have arrived. This robot, operating under Ukrainian control, navigated trenches, mud, destroyed structures, and incoming fire to line up a clean shot. Even more surprising was its precision and stability, something early prototypes in other countries struggled with for years. The kill isn't just symbolic. It demonstrates the real-world combat capability of low-cost unmanned systems. For the first time, a machine fought inside the battlefield, not above it, not behind it, but inside it. And now militaries worldwide are reassessing everything they know about land warfare. How Ukraine built its robot warfare program. Ukraine's robotic breakthroughs aren't an accident. They are the product of necessity, innovation, and a fast-moving defense tech ecosystem unlike any other in the world. Ukraine learned early in the war that traditional manpower can't sustain endless trench fighting. So the country turned to technology, partnering frontline units with startups, engineers, volunteer groups, and battlefield technicians who could build and modify robots in days, not months. These unmanned ground vehicles, or UGVs, started as logistical tools, delivering supplies, evacuating wounded soldiers, or scouting abandoned trenches. But as Ukrainian engineers gained experience, they began adding armor plating, weapon mounts, advanced optics, stabilizers, and encrypted control systems. Slowly, support robots evolved into combat robots. The result is a network of low-cost battlefield machines that can be repaired with commercial parts and redesigned overnight based on frontline feedback. It's a type of wartime innovation no Western military can replicate as fast. And this speed, this battlefield engineering culture, is exactly what allowed Ukraine's robot army to make this historic leap first. Why ground robots are more dangerous than drones. Drones change the sky, but ground robots are about to change the earth beneath soldiers' feet. While drones can strike from above, they are limited by battery life, EW jamming, weather, and flight altitude. Ground robots, on the other hand, operate right where infantry fights, inside trenches, forests, rubble, in buildings. This proximity makes them uniquely dangerous. UGVs are harder to detect than drones. They can hide behind debris, slip between trenches, and strike from angles drones simply cannot access. Their low profile also protects them from small arms fire. Even Russia's intense electronic warfare, which often disrupts drones, struggles to fully block ground-based systems because they operate closer to the operator with stronger signals. But the most important factor is payload. A ground robot can carry heavier weapons, machine guns, grenades, anti-armor rounds, turning them into miniature assault vehicles. The robot reportedly used in this kill carried enough firepower to damage a Russian MTLB. Robots on the ground aren't support tools anymore, they're frontline fighters. Russia's reaction in the new arms race. Even before this reported kill, Russian analysts expressed concern about Ukraine's rapid adoption of unmanned systems. But this event intensified those fears. Russian military bloggers, often more honest than state media, warned that Ukraine is pioneering a new type of warfare Russia is not ready for. They described the robot strike as a dangerous evolution and a capability gap Russia must close fast. Russia has tried to develop UGVs in the past, such as the Uran-9, but field tests showed severe failures, targeting glitches, communication dropouts, overheating, and poor mobility. Meanwhile, Ukraine's battlefield-driven approach has produced cheaper, faster, and more adaptable robotic units. This single kill could ignite a new arms race, with both sides racing to deploy larger, more lethal, and more autonomous ground systems. Not just Russia, but NATO, China, Turkey, Israel, and the US. For the first time, the war in Ukraine has become the global test site for the future of robotic land warfare. And that changes the entire military balance. If you're enjoying this deep breakdown, don't forget to subscribe. Your support helps this channel bring you the biggest updates from around the world. Thank you. Zero fear, zero fatigue, the new battlefield advantage. Human soldiers face fear, fatigue, stress, and physical limits. Ground robots do not. This gives Ukraine an entirely new tactical advantage, the ability to send machines into the most dangerous zones without risking a single life. Robots don't panic under fire. They don't freeze when bullets fly. They don't question orders. They simply execute. This changes assault tactics dramatically. Robots can enter mined areas, take positions under machine gun fire, or scout dark trenches where even special forces hesitate. If they get destroyed, they can be repaired cheaply. If they succeed, they save lives. For Ukrainian troops, knowing a robot can take the first hit boosts morale and confidence. For Russian forces, facing an enemy that feels no fear creates psychological stress. It's like fighting a soldier who cannot die. This unmanned presence shifts the battlefield dynamic, and as robots grow more capable, they will increasingly replace humans in the most lethal missions. A transformation military historians have predicted, but never witnessed at this scale until now. The technology behind the strike. The reported kill wasn't performed by some massive futuristic robot. It was a compact, efficient battlefield machine built for maneuverability and precision. Its track design allowed it to move through mud, trenches, and ruins while remaining low to the ground. The control system used encrypted communication to resist Russian jamming, keeping the operator connected even in electronic warfare zones. The weapon mount was stabilized to absorb recoil, allowing the robot to fire accurately without losing its aim. This is crucial. Early UGVs often miss shots due to vibration and instability. Ukrainian engineers solved this by adding shock absorbers and custom firing braces. Its optical system included thermal imaging and low-light cameras, enabling operators to see hidden targets even through smoke and dust. This allowed the robot to approach the Russian MTLB undetected and fire with precision. It wasn't brute force that made this kill possible. It was engineering mastery, battlefield innovation, and smart adaptation, a combination that Ukraine has perfected. How robots help reduce casualties. One of Ukraine's biggest challenges is manpower. Years of intense fighting have drained human resources. Ground robots directly address this problem by replacing soldiers in the most dangerous tasks. Instead of sending infantry down a trench filled with mines, Ukraine can deploy 2 or 3 armed robots. Instead of risking medics during evacuation missions, robotic stretchers can retrieve wounded soldiers. Every mission completed by a robot means fewer casualties and fewer families receiving devastating news. This is why Ukrainian commanders see robots not just as weapons, but as lifesavers. Why every major power is watching Ukraine. Ukraine's robotics breakthrough isn't just a regional development, it's a global shockwave. Every major military power has been studying the war for real-world lessons, and this reported robot kill is now a major case study. The United States sees it as validation of low-cost battlefield robotics. China sees it as confirmation of its own robotic warfare programs. Turkey, Israel, the UK, and France are analyzing how Ukraine achieved lethal capability with limited resources but unlimited innovation. Ukraine's Frontline has inadvertently become the world's largest testing ground for new military technologies. Every successful robot, every innovative drone, every EW tactic, it all becomes data for future warfare. If Ukraine can mass-produce ground robots that cost less than Russia loses in a single destroyed armored vehicle, the entire economics of war could shift. And countries around the world know that whoever masters robotic warfare first will shape the future global battlefield. This kill may be the spark that accelerates robotic arms races across continents. What this means for the future of war. This reported robot kill represents more than a battlefield victory. It marks the beginning of a new military era. Just as drones revolutionized air combat, ground robots are now redefining land combat. In the next decade, trench assaults, urban raids, and frontline pushes may be led by robotic platoons supported by human operators at a safe distance. The ethical, strategic, and geopolitical implications are enormous. How autonomous should robots become? Should machines be allowed to make independent lethal decisions? How will nations respond when robotic armies confront each other? What is certain is this: the first step has already been taken. A robot has successfully engaged a target in active combat, and the world cannot ignore what this means. The battlefield of the future will be shaped by countries that adapt fastest to robotic warfare. And Ukraine, through innovation, necessity, and sheer determination, has taken the lead in this transformation. History will look back at this moment as the beginning of a new age. One robotic kill has already changed the war. Imagine what comes next. Don't forget to subscribe for deeper analysis and frontline updates. See you in the next video, where the future of warfare becomes today's reality.